Vinny Jr. just learned an important lesson that every single man should know. Never text multiple girls at the same time because they will find out and they will get your ass. My man got exposed and is now in recovery mode, which had Brazilian journalists breaking down text messages like it's some high-level analysis. In today's news, we'll look at what happened in yesterday's matches and how the World Cup might end up being played during January instead of the summer. But before that, we'll start with the recap on how Vinny Jr. absolutely cooked himself. It all started in September when he started to date this pretty lady, Virginia Fonseca. Now, I probably should have known who this was given that she had like 5 million likes on this post, but I just didn't. Anyways, a month into dating, she was in Madrid watching his match against Villarreal. That was literally like less than a week ago, and since then, texts have come out that had Brazilian journalists moving like tacticos breaking down Pep's system. Basically, he was texting other girls, asking for photos and all of that, and it got his ass dumped by Virginia. That's when he posted this on his Instagram, addressing it all and I guess trying to get her back. He said, "We all go through moments that make us reflect and grow. I recently experienced a situation that made me reflect and recognize attitudes that didn't represent who I want to be or the kind of relationships I want to build. Virginia is an incredible woman, an admirable mother, and someone whom I feel enormous affection and respect. Since we met, she has come to Madrid 3 times to see me, leaving behind her routine, her commitments, and her life just to be with me. I have met an admirable mother and an incredible partner. Although we weren't an official couple yet," I see what you did there, "there was a sincere connection. I'm not ashamed to admit that I was careless, that I didn't respond the best way I could have, and that I disappointed her. For this reason, I want to apologize publicly with an open heart because I understand that a true relationship only exists where there is respect, trust, and transparency. The idea now is to restart everything, without lies, without fights, without masks, with lots of love, affection, and respect." I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this is gonna work. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend, bro. There was like 4 girls in his sauna, I don't know, a month ago. Bro was in the mud right now. Apparently his sauna even caught fire the other day. Anyways, we actually have to talk about football today. A new team qualified for the World Cup, which you'll see in a second. But speaking of the tournament, in 2034, there might not actually be one. And as you know, it was supposed to be taking place in Saudi Arabia, which it still will, but apparently it's being moved to January of 2035. Similar to Qatar, it's not going to be played in the summer because it's too hot, but also they're moving it to January because December, November time, there's Ramadan. I still remember when Algeria was doing work during Ramadan during the 2014 World Cup, I think. They missed out on the last one, but yesterday they qualified for the 2026 edition, meaning they now join Morocco, Tunisia, and Egypt as the African countries to qualify so far. England beat Wales with Bukayo Saka scoring an absolute banger, making him Arsenal's all-time top scorer for the England national team. They're well on their way to qualifying, and Austria are also doing well. They absolutely clapped San Marino yesterday 10-0. Every single outfield player had at least 1 goal contribution. Højlund had 3 of his own for Denmark, who stayed top of Group C. That puts him on 5 goals, 1 assist in just the past 3 matches. At the U20 World Cup level, the quarterfinals are set after the US beat Italy and Morocco beat South Korea. We got Mexico versus Argentina, Spain versus Colombia, US versus Morocco, and Norway versus France. It'll all take part this weekend, so we'll see what happens on Monday.